Good morning, we are live. Let me know if that music is too loud. I'm not too sure what volume's going on today. Welcome to today's stream. Somebody just said very retracted your comment. I've not done a stream for a while. I've done a stream for the last like 8-9 days. Every morning. I've had a bit of time off work, so I've been waking up and doing a morning stream, checking out Bitcoin analysis of some altcoins. Like I say, if you're new to this channel, make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that like button. If you got any questions regards to coins you want me to check out in terms of price analysis, or any questions regards to anything crypto related, fire them in chat and I will try to get to them. So yeah, let's have a look at Bitcoin. I've been mentioning this week that we're looking for a long position. I think I've mentioned it every day for probably about, when was we up here? I was looking at a long from around this region, so 14th of June, like 4 days ago now. I've been looking for that long down at that 618 level, and we have got into that long now. So look on my perps. Yeah, we're looking from my perps. So I'm looking anyway from like around 37191. I actually set it within a bracket, so I set it from about 37050 all the way up to about 37300, and I'm currently in a long now. What we're priced at 37770, so I'm in a little bit of profit at the minute, not major amounts, and it's only a 5 times leverage, nothing drastic. So I'm hopefully going to try and see if I can ride this up. Obviously we've still got that massive downside potential. My liquidation price is around this here, 30,500. So if the market does get a bit of a shakeout and we continue this move down to the bottom, I still might be protected. I'm really not hoping we test that level again, though, because we've been down there twice already in the past. 3 times we've been down to that level, so fingers crossed we do not come back down and test that region, but we'll have to wait and see, don't we? Hopefully this 618 level now over his latest move acts as some nice support. As you can see, we've had pretty much 4 wicks within that range already, so I'm hoping if we just drop to the 15-minute time frame, as you can see it, hopefully we get a spin around now and start to go back up and target that 40,800 region, which is the next major area of resistance for me. If you look at these 2 weeks here, we rejected off at the same point. We've been all the way up to 41,341 and we rejected off there. We're looking for a daily closure above 40,800 to continue, but we do know it's a weekend, don't we? So shit happens on a weekend. It could turn a little bit nasty, but I just want to highlight in my stream, loads of people are talking about the death cross, aren't they? I've talked about it throughout the stream. I'm not a massive fan of that indicator. Let's just get rid of that fib. I got it wrong over there. I put the MA55 on the 200. It's actually the 50 and the 200. And as you can see, the last time we had a bullish cross was pretty much back here on the 9th of May. And that was slightly just after, well, the bearish cross here. Look how long it lasted. Not long at all. We had a bearish cross on the 12th of March. And then on the 9th of May, which pretty much 6 weeks later, we had a bullish cross. So there's always potential that we could get one. But if we did get one, for me, it would be a bullish sign, because I knew that we would get an immediate bullish cross incoming. As you can see, the lines are getting closer. So there is a potential that we do cross over at some stage. It's getting closer. You could see this continue the way down. You could see this going miss. And we could lead to a short-term dump, which could, in reality, take us back down to this level before ultimate rise. I think that is support, and I don't think we'll go below that region. As you can see, lots of support within this region back in January, and it's acted as support again. If you look at crypto Twitter, though, you would have thought it's the end of the world, because I just mentioned it in Crypto Troops, my Telegram group this morning, that there's that many people who are new to the scene over the course of the last year who've been firing tweets out constantly. Got fairly big Twitter accounts. You're talking 50 to 150k, and we just talk bollocks, and we're all thinking it's doom and gloom and crypto's over, when in reality, in my opinion, I still think we're in a bull cycle. I think this is just part of a run. Looking at the stock to flow model, this is, remember, crypto is new, so it may not follow this. What's going on there? So obviously you can see on the last the last 3 major bull runs, we've had peaks, haven't we? Peaks here. We had a double peak back in 13, had a big peak back in 2018, 17, not much here yet. You won't call that a peak, would you? We've had pretty much a tops and a consolidation, really. So I'm still expecting over the course of the next 6 to 12, 6 to 18 months that we will get a rise at some stage. I mean, if you're looking at the date, that's around towards the end of this year. A few people have been calling for August, which bangs on straight. I don't think we'll get above a peak in August. It's too close. But I think towards the end of the year, Q3, Q4, maybe even Q1 next year, I think we will see a peak up here at some stage. So for me, it's still early days. As you can see, people are flapping like fuck about this bear cross. It might happen. It might get a crossover and you might get an initial drop, but it's not going to be an initial drop like this. It's not going to bang straight down to 20k like people are thinking and then pop up at. I just can't see it, to be honest. 30k is a solid area, and I think that if you're Michael Saylor and you see something popping down to these regions, you'll be buying anything within this region. And to be honest, I think anywhere in this range, I think that people will be buying. One key point as well to note is that Wales have accumulated over 90,000 bitcoins over the course of this consolidation period, and that will keep growing as long as we stay within this range, which is what they want. I think that will still keep increasing. So bitcoins, Wales are accumulating a minute. I'm accumulating with anything that I have spare. So let's just go back into a bit of price analysis. If we drop right into the 4 hour again. So I've got a long open now. Let's have a look what I can expect from this long, if I can do that right. So my long was from that 618 position, which we've bounced off. There's always a possibility we could come back down and test this region at 36.1. If you look here, it's acted as a key support and resistance level. So the potential is we still could come down to there, but I'm hoping that we form a nice base here and then go back up and target them highs up at 40,800. So I'm looking to take profit really. Only if we break through. If we don't break through and we come back down, I'm going to keep that long open and just ride it through, because I'm looking to take profit at this region up here at 43k and 45k. This region around here is a key area to break through at 42,400. I think that's the first major one to break through. And then we've got 45k, which is these wicks as well. Then Fibonacci extensions marry well with the structure of that on the way down. So I'm looking to potentially ride that long up to these regions if the market does allow, but we just need to see what goes on. It's a very indecisive time for a market. Wales are accumulating, so we could easily send it back down to this region. I think if that stood up another test of support and it did hold it well, and I think we would really be on the up. Let's have a look at chat. Good morning everyone, how are we all doing? If BT goes to 15k or 12k, it's a chance. Oh, I can't see it going that low, buddy. That's major bearish. Honest, Steve. Are you leverage trading? Yes, I've opened a leverage trade from 37,170 or something like that. Was it around that? Yeah, around that region. Maybe 32,180 or 190. But yeah, I've got 5 times leverage long open. I rarely open leverage trades, but I see this is a decent opportunity. Alfonso, maybe short BTC. Well, I've just opened a long at this range. There's always a possibility. I mean, there's a good chance we could come back down and test 36,100, so that could be a good short opportunity. But I've opened a swing leverage trade, really. I mean, I'm not bothered if it goes down to these regions. My liquidation's at around 30k, so I'm willing to ride that out and let's see if we can target this region again. Obviously, we've been up and rejected off that twice, even 3 times really. So, in theory, it is a bearish setup. But if you're looking at the structure of this market, let's just go through some structure. So, this region down here was the low. We then have gone on to create a higher low. And also, this is another higher low. So, in terms of structure, that is a bullish structure. If you look in trend lines, you would say that is an upwards trend. So, all is showing for me good signs of accumulation period. I mean, if you're looking at this structure here, we was on a downtrend, but we've actually broken through that structure here and broken through this structure here. So to me, that higher low is quite significant. I think if we did drop below that and come back down to these range, it would pretty much wipe out that structure. But I'm looking for a continuation of this. So let's see if we can push on through and maybe get another higher low above this line here. So we're looking for a higher low around this range. Maybe if we're looking for some potential setup, we do this, a little bit of upward momentum, come back down, close it to candle, and maybe a little bit of run like that. So let's see if we can form something like that and try and get out of this this horrible, boring, mundane range that we're being in. Because Chop City, it's not meant to be entertaining, it's meant to be for accumulation, and this is what this exactly is. This is accumulation for big players. This is all that's happening. It's accumulation, no major price action. We'll only see that major price action when the bigger players seem to have bought as much as they can and are pretty much happy with their holdings. So I can see us breaking out soon. When I say soon, it could be anywhere up to the end of the month around here, but we will break out at some stage. I definitely see more chance of a breakout than a breakdown. So fingers crossed we can continue this this bullish structure that we're forming down here. And fingers crossed we can create another high low out of this range. So that's Bitcoin pretty much covered. Death cross bullshit pretty much covered too. Remember, there's always a possibility we could get that crossover EMAs, but in my opinion, it wouldn't lead to certain death like most of crypto Twitter are saying. If it did drop, then just take advantage of that drop and load up. Like I say, last time we had a death cross, it wasn't very substantial. We had a cross, we did about 50% drop, and then we pretty much rose straight up and then went on to create new all-time highs. And if it did happen, then I'm not too fussed, to be honest. So that's pretty much covered. My thoughts on a BTC. My trade is currently open and in profit. Let's see if we can use this area of support now and gain some momentum and start to push on back up to this region and then break through. Of course, well, we do know it's a weekend now. Previously, a lot of weekends have been quite bearish for Bitcoin, but the last 2 weekends have been quite the same as what's been going on. This was a weekend here, so it was quite boring. The weekend previous to that, we did have a bit of a dump on a Saturday, but recovered on a Sunday. So for me, I think the weekends are getting a little less fearful. But let's see how this weekend goes. We do know it's Friday today. Usually quite a bit of profit taking does happen on a Friday. So let's see. People are not going to be trading today anyway, watching England play later on tonight. Seeing batter Scotland. Sorry for any Scottish fans in there. So that's that pretty much covered. Have a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum has done quite a big drop there on the 4 hour. I mean, it's come down and done that 78% retracement over its entire move. If we just have a zoom out, still within the higher range of that range there. So we've got high range, medium range and a low range. We are within mid range, and to me it's looking quite good there. As we've had no closures below that 786 level, it does show to me that there's liquidity in that area. As you can see, this wick it bounced straight back up, and we've had a bit of trading with it in that area. So I think now this has done what it needs to do, and I think it might start to push on from here. But let's just see. Like I say, weekend coming up, we could always come back down to test this region here, which was that lower region. We'll just mark it up. That's a potential scenario. I mean, if it could come down to 2100, currently at 23,400. Let's see. I saw TED Talks macro saying there's quite a lot of positive gamma around 2400. So let's see if that holds up and it does push through. So that's the two majors covered. If you got any projects like me to cover or any questions, fire them in chat. Smash that like button, get a few people in, and then we'll crack on with some altcoin analysis. So what we'll do is just have a look at zilliqa. I did a video on zilliqa last night, and I looked at a potential setup. You know me, 618. actually wick down into that region to that buy zone nicely. So if you're a zilliqa holder and you watched that video yesterday, and you managed to place some orders at 10 cent, we would have picked up nicely there, and I think it would have pushed on. Staking. What about staking, mate? Should you be doing it? Hello from Bangkok. How you doing, buddy? I'm currently staking at a minute. I was staking zilliqa for a while. Managed to accumulate a decent amount of GZIL. Actually sold them, made a decent amount of money. Do you suggest some nominees or just a random? I've not got my ledger with me, have I? I'll try and plug my ledger in and see what who I'm staking with. If it loads up, I'll put it onto the screen though. Don't want no keys seen on that. Don't think it wants to load up. I'll try anyway if it. Oh, there it goes. I'll connect that and on the other screen and have a look which one I'm using. Zilliqa is dead, bro. What makes you say that, mate? It's got that ecosystem is growing every single day. It's a solid asset. If you think otherwise, then you don't have to say it's dead, because it's definitely not dead, mate. So many people think things are dead across market when we're just getting started. Let's have a look at my accounts here. So Polkadot, I'm using one called Rayabana -2. I've been getting active daily rewards for that for a while now. See if I can. No. It's a Rayabana -2. That's one I've been using for a while, mate, and it's a solid one. Staking zil.ada and EIDCL and Swissboard BTC ETH. Yeah, solid. I think staking is probably, and yield rewards, the best thing you can do, mate. I think it's getting that passive income is solid. But yeah, check out that Rayabana -2. I'm bullish on ZIL. If you just look at their marketing, it's class. So much news coming out. What's in my portfolio? I'll tell you. I'm holding VeChain, zilliqa, Polkadot, Ethereum, Reserve Rights on Federal Reserve. Just bought some chilies actually. Quite bullish on chilies. And then low caps, I'm holding Evido, Turnoa, Pluton, and Centivate. So that's what I'm holding, mate. What's your opinion on chilies? They have so many bullish. Yeah, I'm massively bullish on chilies. Like I just said, then I've just bought some, probably around 32 cents. I'll have a look at chart actually. Slightly down on my purchase, but not to worry about. I've bought this for a long term. I was wanting to buy chilies. If we just look at this on my daily time frame, I wanted to buy chilies around here. And I've pretty much missed it really. I was looking for some orders and we didn't quite get filled, and then we saw this major parabolic growth up to 94 cents, was it? Yeah. And then I thought, oh shit, I missed a boat. But I waited and waited and waited, and then we had that this massive opportunity drop here. A lot of people think it's the end of crypto, but it's not. It's just an opportunity. And I saw this pushing up. And I've bought some at around 32 cents long term hold, so I'm not bothered if it goes down. I'll just maybe dollar cost average into it. They've just released Valencia starting a fan token today, and Sokios will be sponsor a football shirt, and that's massive for Sokios. So I'm bullish long term on chilies. I've just got the app as well, the Sokios app. It's class. It's really good. So yeah, check it out. I bought chilies too, I FOMO'd in, lesson learned. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, if you're buying high, then that's just unlucky. You just have to hold it till it gets. It will inevitably beat them all-time highs. When this market gets running again, and we get a bit more people back into the market, because currently, I was just talking to Ash about it earlier on, there's that many, like YouTube views are massively down, and I thought it was some sort of algo issue, but having a look into the old trends of cryptocurrency in Google and searches, everything's down crypto related. I think a lot of new people come to the markets and then just fucking disappeared, didn't they? So crypto is in a period which is a quiet period when not many people are talking about it, but like I say, when not many people are talking about it, that is the time to buy. I think you should be definitely looking at buying into crypto now if you've been on the sidelines for a while. BTC is on the push a little bit, so the BTC long is looking quite good at the minute. Let's see if we can maintain this high low and push up and retest that 40,800 level. So that's pretty much BTC covered. We'll just monitor that throughout the stream and see what goes on there. We'll have a look at, like I say, we looked at zilliqa, haven't we? I did that video yesterday if you watched it. And we did hit that buy zone, which I was looking at that pretty much 10-cent region. So that buys are filled up and it's starting to push on a little bit now. So that's looking okay. Have a look at VeChain. I've not looked at it for a while. Might do a video on VeChain today. I was looking for some buys down here, which did hit at 9.8 cent, that golden ratio, so that is pretty much complete now. And we are hovering around that mid-range. I think if you're looking for some buys still and you want to get into VeChain, let me just change this track, because it feels like I'm sat in China. So yeah, if you're looking for buys, I would still target this area, 10.4 cent. I think that's a decent level for you to target. Are you still holding Tender? What the hell's Tender? Oh, 10 set. No, I sold 10 set. I said in my Telegram group I was looking to sell it. If we just look at 10 set. So we're holding 10 set pretty much from the beginning. And I was looking, I was holding it all the way through here. And then we had the news about the Gate.io listing. And I sold my 10 set at around $5.15. And then unfortunately when it got listed on Gate.io, probably there, it's had a sell-off. And it's selling off more than you would have expected, to be honest. I mean, it's down to, wow, $1.50 it's been to. It's bounced off that region at the minute. So I'm not holding that at a minute. In terms of buys, I won't look at buying anything yet. Maybe wait for a push back above this region at 270, but see if it can monitor that for now. I've not looked at Sunset for a while, to be honest. I did a few updates on it. I did a video on the project. I liked what we're doing, but yeah, I'm out of that project now. Alright, buddy, Gerard, how are you doing? What's your thoughts on Giro and Cardstar? I've never heard of them, to be honest, mate. I was saying it on yesterday's stream, there's that many new projects come out recently. There must be 100 projects a day coming out, and it's impossible to keep on top of them, so I've not looked into them, mate. Eve, Cardano or Polkadot, which one for you prefer? I personally prefer Polkadot. Parachain's coming out soon. We've got quite a lot of decent parachains coming out. Somebody mentioned on stream yesterday about Moonbeam, which looks class. It's like a smart contract link between Polkadot and Ethereum, so I think they're trying to help that Ethereum ecosystem by putting that Moonbeam in place, which is quite a cool option. Not a big fan of Cardano. I think Charles Hoskinson bores the life out of me all his mathematics, so I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest. I prefer Polkadot. Right, I've got you, mate. Yeah, like I just said, Benja, I'm not a massive fan of Cardano, to be honest. It's a solid asset, and it will do well, but it's just not my cup of tea. I prefer Polkadot. Obviously, it's going to be up in the top 5, top 10 for pretty much it's where is it currently at. Cardano number 5, it'll probably stay within this top 10 for a long time, to be honest. Let's see if we can push that shit out of the top 10 soon. But yeah, I mean, Polkadot, where's that, number 9? I think Polkadot, Cardano, Ethereum will all stay in that top 10 pretty much for a long time, if not forever. I'm actually quite happy to see that Bitcoin Cash has been pushed out of that top 10 now, because that is an absolute shit coin. Ethereum Classic, that's a pile of shit as well. England 1, Scotland 2. No chance. Can I check turnover? I can, mate. Oh, this music's heavy for this time of day. Friday anyway, I'll have this music on all day. So, turnover. It's held up quite well. I mean, let's just have a look at. So, it's still a low cap. $18.7 million market cap, which is low. I'm massively bullish on this project, massively. I love what we're doing. We've got links to Binance with NFTs already. They've secured a place on the Binance NFT marketplace. Only 100 companies have, so that's big. Maybe if you're looking for some buys, if we do get a bit of sell-off, bang the old Fibonacci on. So pretty much use that 618 level to an absolute T there. Bounced off it 3 times. So if you're looking for buys, I would still potentially look at 15.2 cent for buys. But it's held up very nicely all the way through. I mean, if you look at this region, where's my box? There it is. So if you look at these wicks here, this wick, that wick there, we had a lot of rejection. So them to act as support, rejection, rejection, support, all the way through. So that is a key level, and it's probably as a base layer now. I think if you're going to get some buys filled, probably 15.2 cent. If you're looking to buy on Gate.io, it is on Bilaxia as well. So yeah, that's a region to buy for me. In terms of targets, who knows? It's a low cap. Only 2.5 billion supply. There's only around 100 million in circulation. But remember, a lot of people are vested in. So around the 1st of each month, vested personnel will be getting tokens released. So if you're looking to buy, maybe wait till towards the 1st, 2nd, or the beginning of the month, and maybe look at buying them when we do get some initial investor dumps. Charlie, how's it going, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Once you're taking our BTC, we'll play out Bitcoin. Do you think the death cross is FUD? I think the death cross is something that could happen, but it's massively played on with the bears, and I think there's a lot of new people in the market at a minute that are looking at it thinking, oh, it's doom and gloom. They've seen this price drop and think it's end of Bitcoin, when in reality we are now in a accumulation phase. I mean, I talked about this at the beginning of the stream, so if you want to have a look, once I've finished the stream, go back and watch the beginning. But if we just put the EMAs back on, so it is coming like, oh, I'll just move that across. There is a possibility that we do come back down to test this region, this crossover, and you might get a crossover if we do get a drop back down to 30k. However, moved to that now. There it is. So there's a good chance that you could get that crossover. But if you look in the past, the last time we had a bearish cross was on that COVID dump, and it didn't last for long. It led to the biggest bullish uptrend we've ever had in cryptocurrency, and we had a major rise all the way from 8k up to 65k. So I mean, short term you could potentially get a little bit of a sell-off, but ultimately I think it'll be bullish. I think that we're still in a bull cycle, even though people have said, oh, we've dropped down to 30k, it's the end for Bitcoin, it's going to 20k. I can't see it, to be honest. What I am seeing, let's just have a look at this. The amount of shorts on Bitcoin are building higher and higher, and for me that's bullish, because whenever there's a massive amount of shorts getting in play, waiting for that Bitcoin death cross as they call it, then those shorts may get liquidated with one massive candle to the upside and a breakout on BTC. Obviously it can drop down. I mean, if we look back on the 4 hour, let's get rid of moving averages now. there's a potential it could still drop back down to this region, but I was just saying we are creating a bullish uptrend now. This was the lows. We have a higher low, a higher low. I'm looking for a breakout above 40,800 and a closure above that region, and then see if we can create a higher low up in towards this region, because that is an uptrend. It is bullish structure for the next leg up. So fingers crossed we can break out this region, but always be wary. We could come back down and test this 30k region. We've been down there 3 times. So that's a possibility that we could drop down to that region. If we did drop down to that region, we could have a potential drop down to, I mean, if we did get a major sell-off, we could go back down to there. But ultimately, we would bounce and then go on to create all-time highs towards the end of this year. So let's just monitor price. A lot of people are expecting a drop. That's why the shorts are building up. But whenever shorts are building up, that's a good sign that liquidation is inbound. So, I mean, that is just getting higher and higher and higher, and the more shorts that are in play, the more opportunities for whales to liquidate that and absolutely grow on top of that. So all for me, I wouldn't worry about the diff cross. Shit happens, done it, and if it does get a short-term drop, ultimately it's going to lead to a long-term gain. Please tell me about next Bitcoin support. I mean, you could look towards mid-range around about 786 level at 36k. That could be a decent level for you to target if you want to buy, but I'm currently in an open long. Currently in some nice profit. 37,900 are pushing up to now. About 36, that 618 level has held up very, very well. I've shorted to the upside. This way, mate. Hi, do you know about Morpheus Network? No, I don't, mate. Not too sure about that. How are you staking on Federal Reserve? I tried to do it yesterday on my website, but I'm staking it on. Let me have a look. Not too sure, to be honest. Lending.onfederalreserve.com. I'm not sure if it's still going on, to be honest. Let me have a look. I'm not sure if staking stopped. I don't know if it was an initial thing. 0.28%. It's even pointless staking it, really, isn't it? I won't even bother staking it a minute, to be honest, mate, if I were you. Thoughts on AMP? Never looked into it. Shall we have a look at any price analysis? I take it's a fairly new listing on Coinbase. Got data, 10th of June. I mean, you can't really analyse something in terms of that. Where else has it been listed? Check the Bittrex chart and we got data on there. Yeah, more data there. I presume that massive wick was the Coinbase listing, up to 12 cent. It's one of the only bullish looking charts in the space at the moment. I think there's not many out there. Obviously we created them highs up at 12 cent. We're on a retracement now. Maybe if you're looking to get in, you can have a look at this this region here at about 8 cent could be a good level. But if you look at the entire move, because we do know the markets are very indecisive at the minute, so if you take the very bottom of that move to the very top, currently sat at that 382 level, so if you're looking for some buys, you could potentially get some fill down here before it does pop up. So that could be a potential area to look at if you're looking for some buys, but fundamentally I've not got a clue about the project, so I can't really advise on that. But that's a potential setup. Fibonacci's our king. And that's a potential way it could drop to on that chart. Should I buy now or wait for the death cross? Up to you, mate. Like I say, if you watch this video back, I've covered the death cross twice now. I'm not a massive fan of it, to be honest. I think it's just a lagging indicator, and if it does initially drop, then it's going to, at some point, pump up, because, I'll show you again, back on the 4 hour and the weekly, sorry, daily. It's the last time I say this. Like I say, we did have a bearish cross there, and it led to a little drop, nothing major, but then we had a bullish cross instantly. I think if we did get that crossover, which everyone's banging on about, potentially is that we could have a drop back down to 30k or even down to 24k. But ultimately, we are going to pump. I'm in a long row. I'm not too worried about it. I'm in a long from this region here. I opened a long about 3 days ago, waiting for a 61% retracement to come in. So far, I'm in a nice bit of profit. I'm looking to see if we can ride this back up to this 40,800 region. But just need to be aware of the weekends are volatile, aren't they? So let's just wait and see. Up to you, mate. Depends if you what you want to do. If you wanted to leverage trade, buy long term. I think any buys under this region at 40k are solid buys. Forget Bitcoin, buy Theta. To be honest, can't argue that. Theta is a solid project. This is a bit of a setup I had. I was looking for 61% retracement, but I didn't quite get it. It used that 382 level as nice support, and it's bounced up. As you can see with this, some nice bullish structure here. We created the lows here, followed by a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, and so far it's bounced very, very nicely. So that's looking good. We've done that 38% retracement. Didn't quite make it to that 618. So that's looking good. It's continuing. $10 is a key area. I think if we do break above here, we'll come back down and test it. We need to flip this area to support, because currently this is a bit of structure that we need to break through, to be honest, before it does start pushing on. But we need to close above that, turn that to support, and then push on. Lee side, covered caps, mate. I'm just saying that this level here is a nice level of support. We've actually used support, resistance, support away through. I think if you're looking for buying opportunities, you may get some tests back down at 15.2 cent. But let's see. If Bitcoin drops to 30k, it's just a buying opportunity. Exactly, Jared. Exactly, mate. Bitcoin is definitely going to rise again, 100%. The IDT. I remember somebody talking about it ages ago. Never looked at it. Can't tell. Last time we did some price analysis back in January. That's the last time I looked at it. I've got a few key levels marked up from the past. So if you look at these, purple levels are weekly levels. Green level is daily. Quite a significant drop there, to be honest, from the highs, which was up at $1.90ish, 83% drop. Nothing, I presume, fundamentally is wrong with the project. We are now in a period of consolidation. If you look at its range here, pretty much trading within that same area, using this weekly level of support down here as a nice key level. Bounced off it a few times. So if you're looking for buys, probably 45 cent could be a good region. So let's look at this move here. Yeah, we've done that 600% retracement, pop back up, come back down again. But I think if you're looking for buys, maybe anywhere from 47 to 45 cent could be decent. Need to break above here though. 59 cent is a major resistance to break through here. Few people jumping at stream now. Welcome to everybody who's new here. Smash that like button, get a few more people in. I'm going to do about another half an hour. So if you've got any projects you want me to cover, fire them in chat and I'll try and have a look. Or any crypto related questions, try and answer whatever you throw at me, as long as it's not to do with Doge. I'll happily look at them. RSI on the 4 hour is around mid ground for Bitcoin. Looking at the daily, it's around mid ground. So, like I said, the RSI is going to be around mid ground. It's going to be not overbought. It's not going to be oversold. We are in a period of consolidation. So that does show that there's a potential move to the upside or the downside. If we start to veer off into the green, which is oversold, then would be a potential opportunity. But I'm more concerned about structure here, and I think the structure we are forming is bullish. If we did drop below, back down to this region, then I think we'll come back down and test this region. But so far, things are looking slightly bullish on this 4 hour time frame. Hello from a Great Barrier Reef. Morning, buddy. Welcome. Thanks for joining in all these morning streams, mate. How about TKO? What is it? Let's have a look. Toko token. Never heard of it. Rank 242. So many projects out there now. Looks Indian. Is it an exchange token? Probably can't look at that, to be honest. Will ETH hit 3k today? No, unfortunately it won't. ETH has done quite a big retracement, to be honest, if you look at that entire move. It's done a 78% retracement. No chance of it in 3k, to be honest, mate. We're still range bound if you just have a zoom out. We are stuck within this range like most altcoins and BTC. High range up at 2900, which we've failed to get through a few times. Lower range down here at 1700. This area, if you're looking for buys at 2284, I think is a nice region of support. So if you're looking to potentially buy, maybe that region. But as long as it stay within this high range, it's bullish. But that's a key area, 2900. Potentially we could break over it over the next week or two, but I wouldn't say we're going to break over it tomorrow. Thoughts on smaller countries trying to implement crypto? Well, currently it's for all the South American countries which are interested in it, which are getting hammered by hyperinflation and their currencies being pretty much devalued. So I think bringing Bitcoin into play could be massive. Let's see how it goes though. I think we need the smaller countries to pretty much test it out before the major countries get involved with it. But remember, Bulgaria is the biggest holder of Bitcoin in the world. It's got something like 250,000 Bitcoin, so that's not a small country. They could be a leading country going ahead in the next 15, 20, 30 years, so holding out of Bitcoin is absolutely massive. But bigger countries may try to stop it. We always do. I think they'll obviously throw some food onto the bonfire to try and get in cheaper, obviously. Bro, best coins to invest for long term. Personally, like somebody mentioned ADA there, I think ADA is a decent project. I'm not invested, but it's a decent one to hold. Polkadot, Zilliqa, VeChain, Ethereum, all solid holds, to be honest. I just had a look at Theta Rene. Looking good, Theta. We need to pretty much flip $10 to support. It's currently resistance $10, so I think if we do flip that to support, then we can continue this solid bit of structure reforming. This were the lows, higher low, higher low, higher low. So in terms of structure, it's looking bullish. ADA USD. This was a setup I've got for ADA. I mentioned about opening a long on the ADA. So we had this impulse move up. We've done what I was looking for, pretty much to an exact T. 3 wicks to that 618 level and to that mid-range support. So to me, that now is ready for a longing opportunity. I think it looks good there. Remember, we could always reject depending on what Bitcoin does, but it's looking good. When I've looked for investment opportunities or trading positions, I look on my 4-hour time frame, see if we've done that 61% retracement, which it has, acts as a solid support. So it is looking like we're going to push on now. First area to break through, $1.51. Once we flip that to support, we can go on and target this region at 168 and then 177. So I've not opened a long, or have I might have opened a long. I've had a long open for a while actually on US. I opened a long around here. So that's going. Let's see how that monitors and see if it can push on. You think Vid will survive a bear market? I don't know, to be honest, mate. I've never looked into a project, so I can't tell you on that. Matic, Polygon. Will it decline? that's a setup I've got on Matic. See if it can drop down to 137. If it does drop to 137, I might potentially look at buying some. Every time we've had a drop, every time we've had a top, we've had quite a substantial retracement. But we have broken out of a downtrend here. I mean, if you're looking for structure, we have broken out of this downtrend now, so that's a bullish sign. I'm still looking to see if we can drop to 137 before we do push on. What's up with Dogecoin? What's up with the rest of the market? To be honest, mate, not much. Everything's going sideways. You might call it an accumulation period. Not much going on. Bitcoin still rules the market, doesn't it? So whatever Bitcoin does, unfortunately, is going to pretty much take it out of the rest of the market. It's a bullish sign for me, but it's consolidating. So if you're looking for buys, I've got a range here which is support down at 28 cents or 27 cents with that's potential buy zone down here if you're looking for buys. But just monitor that. I won't worry about it too much if you're holding. I'm not a massive fan of a project, to be honest, but if you're holding, it's got enough people behind it, enough social media presence, so there's always potential that it could start pushing on again at some stage. And as Death Cross doesn't mean it will go down. Correct. Once this stream's finished, you'll be able to look back on my thoughts of what I think about the Death Cross. Or I don't like calling it Death Cross. It's just the EMA crossover to the downside. It's not a Death Cross at all. What about Polkadot? Buy it now. Buy in as much as you can because it is a solid asset. Most projects have now on this latest move. I've done my impulse move up. Hit the $26 and we have done that 26%, 61% retracement. I'm looking for that push on now and target 27 cents. So let's see if this holds up as nice support here. $22 is a good buy for me, I think, considering it's been up to $50. Key area to get through is there at $31, but and then that region at 28. But looking okay. I've got mine locked up on my ledger and staking away. So what I've not checked on today, the fear and greed. So what's that saying? 25. Extreme fear in the market. Just because we've had a slight rejection of that $40,000 region. 38 it was a few days ago. Dropped down to 26 yesterday. Now at 25. So that's quite a substantial amount. We're out into the extreme fear. Whenever there's extreme fear in the market, buy it up to me. I think we're creating some bullish structure here. I think it's looking okay, to be honest. Always that possibility we could die. But you always have with crypto, don't you? When I say die, I don't mean like die, just drop. Right, 10 minutes left. If you've got any projects you want me to cover or questions, fire them in chat. And then we'll wrap it up in about 10 minutes. Solana. I was watching that Up Only TV video with Solana team yesterday, and I thought, bloody hell, I like what they've got going on. I like the founder there. Seems like a sound dude. $38. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some weekly time frame first. So we've done them highs. That was all-time high at $58. We did a major drop, which most projects did. I was looking for a drop down to $28 to potentially buy. It's held up very nice on that 382 level. It's actually had no closures below that, and it's acted as support. So I mean, could move that up now, and that could be a potential setup that we're going to start pushing on. First key area is to break through this region at $46. But depends how the market the weekend goes. You still might get some orders filled down here. So let's wait to see what goes on at the end of today. See how Bitcoin closes on the daily. If it closes above, if Bitcoin closes above this region now, above 37,200, I think it will remain bullish throughout the weekend. But let's just see, to be honest, and see how it goes on. But yeah, I won't mind buying some Solana at some stage. If we do get a crazy weekend or a crazy week coming up and it does drop to that region of $28, I think I'll buy some down there. I mean, long term it could be a decent level to buy now, but I would prefer to buy down at 28 bucks, to be honest. This tune, yeah. What even is this tune? There's some shit on this music list. But I found a DMCA list where I don't get absolutely hammered by YouTube. Gaming music for YouTube and Twitch, copyright free. So some absolute dog shit music on here, but that's all we've got to offer today, I'm sorry. There's some absolute crap on it. That one's crap. Too many military terms not to have been a squad. Might still be a squad, mate. 18 years this year. I don't even notice I'm saying any military terms. Have a great weekend, Manna. That's Solana pretty much covered. $28, which I'm looking at really to potentially hold up. But yeah, Bitcoin's still looking okay. Let's monitor Bitcoin today. I'll be doing some price analysis videos later on my channel. Not sure which projects yet, but whenever I do a project analysis, I always fire some Bitcoin TA on at the beginning. Good morning from Greece. I love Greece. Fucking jealous I'm not out there. I was supposed to go to Greece last month, but obviously got cancelled, didn't it? Whereabouts in Greece? I'm from Mexico. I think I'm going to skip every track on this playlist. There's some absolute horrific tunes. Cheers, mate. Thank you. So what we'll have a look at. Where is it? We'll look at RSR. I've not looked at RSR on this stream. And we're talking about all these countries now in South America and Latin America that are potentially going into Bitcoin as local tender. We do know that Reserve Rights is pretty much targeting those type of countries as well with their setup. And I think this is a massively undervalued project. Where we've been in terms of growth, we've been all the way up to 11 cent. Currently down at 3 cent. I think that's an opportunity, that is. I think once they do start pushing out what they're going to be doing, and once we do start getting people on board, more countries involved, I think this is massive. We have done that 68% retracement here. I think that's a good buy, to be honest. A lot of assets are looking very similar. We've popped down. I mean, even from BTC throughout the entire alts, we've done that 61% retracement, and we are popping up now. So things are starting to look really good, to be honest, mate. But this is a project I'm massively bullish on. I've not got as much as I want. So I think now anywhere under this region up at 3.4 cent, which is the next major resistance, is a perfect buying opportunity. I did target some buys when last stream I mentioned about buying some within this region. So hopefully if some of you watched that stream the other day, you did manage to buy some within that area. Any country is better than England. In terms of weather, you're probably right. I would like to move abroad, but unfortunately our last won't come with me, so I might have to leave. Seen quite a few people moving to Portugal, crypto oriented people. I think Martini guy's been out over there checking out Portugal, hasn't he? I don't think I'll move abroad, but definitely look at buying somewhere abroad. I forgot to ask you yesterday, bro, what do you have to say about a massive head and shoulders on BTC? It is what it is, isn't it? I'm not a massive fan of patterns. A lot of people have been looking at this as well. This is pretty much a Wyckoff distribution model, so you would expect that the next leg up is up around here. I'm not a massive fan of patterns, but it has pretty much played out how the Wyckoff distribution does play out. In terms of the head and shoulders pattern, you've got to look on the daily, I think it is there, isn't it? So, I mean, if you're looking for patterns, you could say the shoulder, the head, and then the shoulder there. So, I mean, that's a potential setup if you're looking for a break to the downside. Could also just potentially break to the upside and fuck everyone's theories off, couldn't it? But like I say, I'm not a massive fan of patterns, to be honest. I'm more into structure. And as we say, we are still not out of the woods until we break out of this region and close the daily candle above here. In terms of structure, we are forming a nice structure here. So let's see how the market pushes up. We're pushing back up towards 38k. Need to break above this region and start pushing on. Good morning from Bangalore in India. Any other projects you want me to cover? We'll do another 5-10 minutes and then we'll call it a day. Already looked at AMP. AMP, I presume that was a Coinbase listing major pump, so whenever you've had a major pump, you always get the pullbacks. And if you look at it over the entire move from the lows back in May, May 23rd, if you look at that entire move, it didn't have many pullbacks. We had a pullback here, and I think it potentially could get some orders filled down at 6 cents. But if you look at the latest move here, I mean, this could be it could bounce off here at 8 cents. So it's either 6 cents or 8 cents. Maybe if you're looking to buy, ladder some orders down from 6 cents down to 8 cents. I think there could be potential. Where's 6 cents? Ladder some orders within that range, and I think it could be decent for the future, mate. If you're bullish on the project, do you think this death cross is going to be bogus? There's always a potential that it could drop to the downside, but I won't worry about it, mate. If it did drop, I mean, if you look. Look back in March to last year, red across, it did drop, given there's always that potential it could drop, but we had a major push. When we had that crossover, went on the biggest Bitcoin rise ever. Look at that. It was followed pretty much immediately by a bullish crossover. I mean, we could have a big candle up here to the upside, and these moving averages just widen up and widen up and widen up. But obviously we could have a cross and we could drop down to 30k again, or even 24k, but if it did, I would just expect a severe pump to the upside once it did happen, to be honest, mate. What do you think about Titan Crash? Don't buy shit coins, that's what I think. When you're looking at a platform which says it's a stable asset, which is saying it's going to give 800,000 APY, whatever it is, ignore it. Stick to assets which have their own blockchain. They're not piggybacking on other shit chains. It was shitcoin. Don't buy crap like that. Right, I think that's going to do today anyway. Need to get off. Fingers crossed we maintain this bullish structure for the rest of the weekend. Let's see if we can use this 618 level as support. If you are new to this channel, please make sure you are subscribed. Thank you everybody who's tuned in today. Try and fire another stream out in the morning, but see what I'm getting on with. I'll post a link tonight or in the morning. Make sure you subbed, liked that video, and I'll catch you next time.